My mom used to say some strange things sometimes. I grew up hearing them. Some actually made sense, like, don't cry over spilled milk, or two wrongs don't make a right. But one of the ones she used to say again and again was, there's no rest for the wicked. There's no rest for the wicked. To this day, I have no idea what that means. She used to say it, I know, when she was working hard and just plain tired and still had a lot more to do. There's no rest for the wicked. But I recently came across a quote from the prophet Isaiah that seems it might make some sense of that offhand comment. Isaiah wrote, there's no peace for the wicked. Perhaps that is its originating phrase. And that I understand. And I understand it all too well. Perhaps you do too. There is no peace for the wicked. Wicked. It's what you and I can become to other people when we continue to make choices that are just plain nasty, that are wrongful, that are corrupt, that are base, that are mean. Listen to Ezekiel's warning in that first reading tonight. When someone virtuous turns away from virtue to commit iniquity, and it is because of the iniquities that they commit then that they must die. You and I both know that's about way more than our physical death. There's a lot of other things that can die inside of us. Like love, like life itself. You can get very wealthy by being wicked. You can become famous by being wicked. You can amass great power and live with titles all over your name by being wicked. You could have hundreds and hundreds who want to be with you and close by you by being wicked. As a matter of fact, you can experience some of the most unbelievably intense pleasure from just being wicked. Bullies are surrounded by friends, aren't they? But you know and I know that most of those people are around them all the time, the bully, because they're afraid. And when they get a little bit older, they are very, very, very much alone. But if you are wicked, even though you can amass that great amount of wealth and be really famous and have all that power and all those titles and hundreds of people around you adulating you, if you are wicked, if you got all that by stepping over others and being greedy and climbing with undue ambition, deceptions, and lies, if you got all that by cutting corners and being less than honest, if you use people for your own ends and your own pleasures, Even if in their desperate situation, in their desperation, they consent to letting you use them, then you will never be at peace. You will never be at peace because you know how you got there. And you will always be wondering when somebody else will find out too and destroy you. You will never be at peace because in a moment of which there is only pleasure, not a bad word in itself, pleasure is not a bad thing in itself, but in a moment of only pleasure, I don't have to feel those other things. But afterwards, there is just this loneliness, this emptiness, this anxiety, the disdain of those around me, and the utter disrespect and total silence that I know they hold for me. That you try to ignore, but deep down, you know it's true. You see, sin is its own punishment. Sin is its own punishment. You don't need a mom and a dad or a God to mete out punishment to you anymore, to teach you what's right and wrong. If you try not to avert your eyes, if you pay attention to who you are, you will know that that's true. Sin is its own punishment. The wicked deed carries that punishment within it. It's like eating donuts. I love donuts. But that donut, with all of its pleasure, and I can make myself not think about this, oh my gosh, and am I good at it. But with every bite of that donut, I am destroying my body. And I might not know that for years, but it is true. That's just a stupid example. But let me tell you, every wicked act we do is like that donut to me. I may not be able to see it right away, but the truth is, sin is its own punishment. I had a guy call me one night way back, and I zoomed to the emergency room. He was in critical care then, I think, at the time. And I was worried about what I was going to say and how I would say it, and if he was going to die, and if he was going to die while I'm there, and all this stuff. And when I walked in the door, I got to his bedside, and he was very weak. He had a massive heart attack, if I remember right, or stroke maybe, but I think it was a heart attack. And he said, Father, I know why I'm here. I know why this happened. I was on a business trip a while back, and I slept with a prostitute. And I never told my wife. And it's been eating me alive. Sin is its own punishment. You don't need a God to tell you that that's bad for you. If today you find yourself to be that person, it's not too late. It's not too late. You can talk to somebody. You can go to confession to clean all that out and up. You can get down on your knees next to your bed and ask for forgiveness and ask for help from God, or some trusted other in your life to help you be accountable for the change you want to begin in your life right then and there. You can repair that. Listen to the very next simple little sentence from Ezekiel. But if someone turns from that wickedness they have committed, and they do now what is right and just, they shall preserve their life. They shall surely live. You can repair that. It's not too late until it's too late. Jail, divorce, loss of your kids, loss of your future dream, until it's too late, as in death itself. I've been ordained 37 years. I've done a lot of funerals. And I can't tell you the difference between presiding over the funeral of a good human being and a wicked one. I've done too many funerals for people that so many saw as wicked people in their life. And let me tell you, no one mourns them. No one misses them. No one puts a flower on their grave. There's even relief in the passing. It's truly tragic. More tragic than their death. It is the death within that death. But tell me, how do we remember this when the next temptation presents itself? How? How do I remember the consequences? The punishment that comes with this deed, this word I said or didn't say when I should have and could have. How can I remember this before I do it? How can I remember it in time? I ask myself that all the time. I knew if I would have stopped for 1 second what I was going to have to deal with afterwards. So do you. If we only could remember what it feels like afterwards, beforehand, we would be so free. And not do it this time. If you are young and you are looking to your future, tonight is a heads up. As clear as Isaiah said it, as clear as Ezekiel said it after him, so am I saying it to you tonight. If you want to know peace, then you must live with integrity. If you want to know peace, you must live with integrity. Otherwise, peace will always just elude you. I'm guessing Mama knew something I didn't. Who would have guessed it? There's a whole popular musical out now, and it's running around the country, called just that. It's called Wicked. Most of us saw it when we were in 4th grade, probably for the first time with our moms. It's really the story of the Wicked Witch of the West and how she got to be that way. I pray this will not be the song someone will want to sing at your funeral mass, maybe as an entrance hymn. And so I invite you tonight to just listen to the words, not the music tonight, but just the words.
Good news! She's dead! The Witch of the West is dead!
The wickedest witch there ever was is dead.
Let us be glad, let us be grateful, let us rejoice that goodness could subdue the wicked workings of you-know-who. Isn't it nice to know that good will conquer evil? The truth we all believe will, by and by, outlive a lie. For you and
no one mourns the wicked. No one cries they won't return.
No one lays a lily on their grave.
The good man scorns the wicked.
Through their lives, our children learn
what we miss when we misbehave.
And goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely. Goodness knows the wicked die alone. It just shows when you're wicked, you're left only on your own.
Yes, goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely. Goodness knows the wicked cry alone.
Nothing grows for the wicked. They reap only what they've sown.
Yes, goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely. Goodness knows the wicked cry alone. Nothing grows for the wicked. They reap only what they've sown.